Welcome to this explainer. Today we're tackling a really common frustration, why simply cutting down your portions often fails to actually satisfy your hunger. You've probably been there, right? You cut your portions, you avoid the foods you really enjoy, you try your absolute hardest to be disciplined, and yet your hunger just comes right back shortly after eating. It's so common to end up reaching for another snack or just serving yourself a much larger portion at the next meal. Well, let's look at the mechanics behind this cycle and explore exactly why eating less is, more often than not, just not working.
This is educational, not medical advice.
Section 1. Why eating less fails.
So the difficulty in eating less isn't just about willpower. It's actually deeply connected to our modern food environment. Think about it. Industrial processing is designed to extend shelf life and intensely amplify sweetness, saltiness, and texture. This engineering makes our food incredibly convenient and, well, intensely appealing. It's literally built to bypass your natural satisfaction signals. When you couple that with constant advertising and those supersized portions we see everywhere, our desire to eat just stays active. Plus, these products frequently become tied to comfort, reward, and stress relief. When your brain learns that these specific foods provide a quick emotional lift, you keep eating, even when your body doesn't physically need any more energy.
Moving on to Section 2. Why food structure matters. You see, our bodies developed to process whole foods, not highly refined products. Whole foods naturally arrive packaged with fiber, water, structure, and volume. Because they require more chewing and actually move through your digestive system slowly, they give your body's fullness signals the time they need to develop. On the flip side, sweetened drinks, juices, and refined starches require little to no chewing at all. They enter your system way too quickly, allowing those rapidly digested carbohydrates to hit your intestine and trigger a sharp, sudden spike in blood glucose and insulin demand.
We see this dynamic play out all the time in what we can call the restaurant pattern. A lot of dining environments encourage serving bread, oil, chips, or sweetened drinks precisely when your hunger is at its absolute peak. Refined bread is digested really fast, and those large sweetened drinks add a ton of calories without any of the structural elements that help your body recognize that it's satisfied. So substantial energy is consumed before the actually nourishing part of the meal even starts.
All right, Section 3. What to swap first?
If we shift our focus from just asking, how little can I eat, to how can I eat for steadier energy, it really comes down to substituting whole food alternatives that give you significantly more volume. Let's look at a few examples here. Swapping 540 calories of potato chips for 31 calories of air-popped popcorn means you can actually consume over 17 times more plain popcorn by weight. A regular soda? That can be replaced entirely by 0-calorie sparkling water with lemon. If you replace regular pasta with zucchini noodles, you get over 6.5 times more food volume by weight. And finally, you can enjoy nearly 4 times more baked sweet potato fries compared to standard French fries for the same or less energy. So here are a few practical, concrete swaps you can test out yourself. First, hydration is key. Try drinking water before your meal and keeping your drink small while you eat. Swap out that white bread and oil appetizer for a light salad, some non-starchy vegetables, or a bean-based starter. In the morning, go for oats, berries, and seeds instead of a sweet cereal. And this one is crucial. Always pause before reaching for a snack to check in with yourself. Ask, am I actually physically hungry, or is this driven by stress, boredom, or just needing some comfort? Now, the sequence in which you eat your food actually matters just as much as the food itself when it comes to slowing digestion and reducing glucose spikes. Step 1, start your meal with vegetables or a salad. Step 2, move on to beans or your protein-rich foods. And Step 3, save those starches or sweeter foods for last. Eating in this specific order really helps you notice when that hunger naturally begins to settle.
Which brings us to Section 4. Why this matters. When your meals are primarily built around refined foods and liquid calories, hunger returns early, and snacking just becomes a normal routine. Because you're eating so frequently, each of those events raises your glucose and insulin all over again, leaving your system with less and less time to return to its baseline. Over time, this repeated cycle of excess intake puts increasing pressure on your liver and your metabolic systems. Ultimately, this repeated exposure is exactly what grows the risk for insulin resistance, fatty liver disease, and type 2 diabetes.
Keep in mind, the objective here is not simply about weighing less. The real goal of making these food swaps is to protect your future energy, your mobility, your independence, and your freedom from having to make constant food decisions or manage long-term diabetes. Finally, Section 5, what not to do.
We definitely want to highlight a few specific habits to avoid. Don't respond to persistent hunger by simply making your portions smaller. A smaller serving of the wrong, rapidly digested food might actually intensify your hunger rather than resolve it. Don't start your meals with chips or sweetened drinks when your hunger is at its strongest. Don't judge a food solely by its front of package claims, because those labels certainly don't guarantee a product is minimally processed. Also, don't routinely rely on shakes or bars. They lack the physical structure that helps fullness develop. And lastly, please don't try to change everything all at once. Just test out one alternative at a time.
To sum up our core takeaway, eating less is difficult when the food itself keeps hunger active. The answer is not stricter control. Instead, replacing highly processed foods and liquid calories with whole food structures provides the fiber, water, and nourishment your body needs. It's just far more effective than relying on sheer willpower alone.
These ideas are developed further in Embracing My Vitality, Living Well in the Modern World, and Living Well Without Diabetes, a practical approach to glucose control, available on Amazon worldwide.
Which one of your regular snacks will you swap for a whole food alternative tomorrow?